Hey and namaste, dear friends. So today I'm going to talk about why asking for help is not weak, but actually asking for help is a sign of strength. Asking for help, I think, is something that's quite difficult for most of us because we think that when we ask for help, we are showing our weakness. We're showing our underbelly, our vulnerability. We don't want people to see us as vulnerable. We don't want people to see that we need help or that we feel weak. For us, that doesn't feel good. And so we try to cover it up. But not being able to ask for help isn't a good thing because we take drastic measures if we get to a stage where we feel really, really down. We don't have anyone to help us and we feel like we're all alone. I remember when I was living in Shanghai and a friend said to me, I try to help you, but you don't ever reach out and ask for help. When he said that, I felt a little bit shocked because I thought I was a person who did ask for help. I thought I had the ability to actually ask for help. But once he said that to me, I realised that actually I don't have that ability. And I think not being able to ask for help is something that starts when we are children. Working in a school right now, I see that there's a lot of kids when they need help with something. For example, they don't understand the question or they don't understand the maths or whatever it might be. Rather than putting their hands up and saying, I need help, they don't say anything at all. Because by putting their hand up and asking for help means that they don't understand. They don't want others to look at them in a negative way. They don't want to feel bad about the fact that, they don't know what's going on. Or they don't want it to be like a negative feeling that they have. The point about that is that if you don't ask for help, you can't learn and you can't grow. I remember also when I was in Shanghai, when I lived in Shanghai, we had a supplier meeting, had a big meeting for all our supply base. And I remember when we asked our suppliers questions, nobody answered. Everybody just sat completely quietly, didn't say a single thing. We asked the questions over and over again, everybody just sat and said nothing. The thing about that is, for example, in China, they have a thing about losing face. They don't want to be the first one to put their hand up to answer the question, in case they answer the question and it's wrong. So if they answer the question and it's wrong, everybody's going to look at them and think they're stupid. Okay? So this was with adults. This happened with adults. So it's very clear that this behaviour starts when we are kids. But the point is, as I said before, if you don't ask for help, if you don't put your hand up, you won't ever know if you're right or if you're wrong. Somebody has to take that first step to ask for help. So we grow up thinking that we have to do everything by ourselves, or that if we seem that we need help, then we are weak. And that kind of follows us from our childhood. But that's a problem when we get to a point in our lives when we really need somebody to help us. Then we don't have that ability to simply ask for help. Not asking for help means that we can potentially take really drastic measures that would have been something that we didn't even have to go to if we just had the courage to be able to ask somebody to help us. When we ask for help, generally people are there to help us. People see your humanity. They see the fact that you are a human being, and just like them, you need help with something. It might feel like in the beginning they're looking down on you. You might feel embarrassed by that fact that you have to ask somebody to help you with something. But once you get over that sense of embarrassment, you can open your arms and allow the help that you need to come in. Asking for help is also something that the ego stops us from being able to do. If we have very, very strong egos, our egos don't want to come down. Our egos don't want that feeling of embarrassment, that sense of feeling like a nothing because you can't do whatever it is that you need help with. Life is like that. Life goes up, life goes down. We have certain times in our lives when we are totally up and we feel confident and we're able to do everything exactly the way that we wanted to do it. Other times in our lives, we feel down, we feel low, we feel like, we can't do these things. Life seems to be kicking us all the time. That's what life is. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. So we have to be able to ride the waves of the ups and the downs. And the way that we can do that is to ask for help when we feel down. When we're on a down, we need somebody just to help us, take our hand and lift us up and say it's okay, dust us off and tell us to keep going. If we try to work it out on our own, sometimes there's situations that we simply can't work out on our own. We don't have the strength, we don't have the knowledge, we don't have the ability. We need somebody that has that knowledge and ability to help us along the way. Don't let the ego trick you into feeling like you can't ask for help, because that's what the ego does. The ego won't let you ask for help because it won't let you feel that sense of embarrassment that you potentially feel when you need somebody to help you. But it's okay. It's okay to feel embarrassed. You feel embarrassed in the beginning. Once that help has come, you're on your way. You've learned something. And the next time, you'll be able to do it yourself. Okay? So reaching out and asking for help is not a sign of weakness. On the contrary, it's really a sign of strength. Having that courage to be able to see and to say, I need help, is really, really brave. Okay, it's not weakness. So don't think that you are weak because you need somebody to help us. All of us, through our journey in life, have a point when we need help from others. We don't have, all the knowledge that we need at that time. So we need somebody to help us. When we feel really, really down, and we're like, feeling all alone, we feel like there's nobody there who understands me. There's nobody there who can help me. That's not the case. That is not the case. But if you don't ask somebody to help you, if you don't tell your problem, if you're too scared or too afraid to share what it is that's really going on with you, then of course help is going to be difficult to find and to get. You have to be able to share, you have to be able to open up and say, what's going on with you. Because people don't know. People don't know what's happening. And if you don't tell people what's going on, then people don't know, and then you can't get the help that you need. So you have to be able to open up and say to a close person, you don't have to tell the whole world, but tell somebody who's close to you, somebody who has your back, who will, give you support. Tell them what's going on with you and ask them to help you. When you ask for that help, you have to be prepared to take the help that's being given, because sometimes, we expect help to come in a particular way. If it doesn't come in any other way, then we don't want that help. But that's not how it works. If you ask for help, you have to be open to accept the help that's coming. You can't just say, well, actually, no, I want it to be like this. You have to recognize that what you've asked for is that help. And now that help has come. It might not be in the form that you want it to be in, but it's still help. Okay, so accept that help. Let it push you to the next step. Get you back on your feet. So you're in a place where you feel strong and you're able, to move on. Talking about strength. People always see me as a strong person. And people meet me for the, first, second, third or whatever time, they think that I'm a strong person. Because people think that I'm strong, I also feel strong. Okay, but sometimes when I'm feeling weak, when I'm feeling down, that voice keeps telling me, but you're strong, but you're strong. That's because people have perceived me as strong for so long. So when I feel weak, I feel that I can't step away from that image that I have of myself, or that image that others have of me, of being a strong person. Because of that, it made it difficult for me to ask for help when I actually needed help. Because, I have a view of myself as being a strong person. Others also have a view of me as being strong. So, suddenly this very strong person is going to be asking for help. That's going to make me feel bad, isn't it? That's the ego saying that, it's going to make me feel bad. It's going to be embarrassing for a strong person to need help from somebody. So the images that we have of ourselves and the images that others have of us are also a barrier to us asking for help. If you're a person who is a socialite, you're rich, you have a lot of money, you've always had a lot of money. Money hasn't been easy. Money's been very easy for you to get. Suddenly your situation changes and you no longer have any money. You need to ask your friends to lend you some money. But because you've always been the one who's always had money, it feels terrible to have to ask somebody to lend you some money. But what do? Do you starve? Do you suffer in silence? Do you just, try to hide away somewhere because you don't have the courage, or you have too much ego to ask your friend to help you? Life goes up and down. There's constantly, changes. Nothing stays the same. We're up one day, the next time we're down. We're up the next day, the next time we're down. This is just how life is. But being able to ask for help, being able to say to somebody that you need help is very, very strong. It shows strength. Okay, and also being able to show your vulnerability is also strength. Because all of us need people. There's nobody that can survive in this world by themselves. We all need somebody. Everything that we do involves other people. We don't live on this earth as a singular entity. We have friends, we have family members, we have our work colleagues. This is the whole kind of relationship that we have with others around us. And these people are there to help us along the way. So we shouldn't be afraid to ask for help. We shouldn't be afraid to let ourselves be vulnerable. Because everybody needs somebody. Okay? And you're not alone. Whatever you're going through, you're not alone in it. There are lots of people who are probably going through the same thing that you're going through. When you share that problem that you're going through, you'll find that others are also going through that, and they will, be able to give you some very good advice. So don't think that you're alone. Because you're alone, you have to deal with this thing that you're going through by yourself. Okay? You're not alone. You're not alone. There are many other people who are also in the same boat as you are. And those people are willing to help you. You just have to ask. Okay? Don't be too proud to ask when you need help. Because if you don't ask, you don't get. People don't know. And in today's world, people are afraid to make assumptions. We are afraid to assume things about others. We're afraid to overstep the mark because everything is, before, it wasn't a problem to knock on somebody's door and just, on the off chance that they were at home, that you could have a conversation with them or you could have a cup of tea with them. Today, you have to make an appointment. It's not so easy to just knock on somebody's door because they're busy. And they don't want you just to come to their door. Okay, so we kind of lost that contact, that connection that we had in the past. We become a little bit more insular, we become a little bit more singular. That one-to-one contact that we had before is now a social media contact that we have. Social media isn't really enough. It doesn't give you that one-to-one, person-to-person contact and connection that we're all looking for. But this is this is where we are today. So we have to kind of work around it. And how do we work around it? Contact somebody. Make contact. Reach out to somebody and say what's going on with you. Say that you need help. Don't take drastic measures. Okay? Because your problem can, in some situations, be easily solved. You might think it's a mountain that needs to be climbed, but for somebody else, it's not. For somebody else, it's just, a simple thing. So reach out to somebody. Don't suffer in silence, please. Okay? Because we all need each other. People need people. And when you reach out, you'll find out that there's a lot of people who want to help you. This is what I realized when I was in India doing a course, a deepening course. And at some point in this process that we were going through, I had such a deep process that I couldn't walk after that process that we had gone through. Okay, I couldn't walk. And I was a little bit scared to ask people for help. So I kind of just sat there, not really able to move. And it came to the point when I was the only one left sitting almost. And those that were left, that were about to leave, saw me, came to help me. They helped me to go, to walk. They helped me to the campus. They helped me back to bed. And in fact, it wasn't just those people who helped me. Along the way, lots of other people helped me as well. After that incident, I cried when I got back to the campus. I cried. I cried so hard because it was like, wow, these people just wanted to help me. And that was when I really realized that I had a problem asking for help. Since then, I decided that I was going to make it my mission to ask for help when I need it. Okay, so you might discover that there are a lot of people out there willing to help you if you just have the courage to ask. So please don't suffer in silence. Don't suffer on your own, because all of us are in this together. We are in the same boat and we are there to help each other. Okay, so my name is Jacqueline van der Poy. This is the Life is Relationship channel. Thank you so much for listening. If you're interested in finding out more about me, you can find out more at www.calloftheinnervoice.com. Thank you for listening today, and I say